people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me in this conversation this afternoon is Dr. Godson Kelechi-Wogu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure meeting you once again.
All right, the first story for today is from Rivers State. Female students of the University of Calabar Unicol recently rescued a dying housemate from a couple who were maltreating her. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Florence Danko Obi, disclosed this during an interaction with the newsmen in Calabar, Cross River State. The incident occurred at the popular Hall 8 female hostel on campus. According to Obi, the students noticed that the couples who ran a shop near the hostel were maltreating the girl, identified as Esther Linus. Over time, they observed that Esther did not attend school, wore rags, was starved, and was frequently beaten by the couple for minor reasons. The turning point came when Esther was beaten until she fainted. The girl intervened, forced the couples to shut down their businesses, and took Esther for medical attention. The next day, the couple sent Esther, looking pale, back to the shop, which angered the female student. They protested, demand justice for Esther, and took her to the University Hospital Center for Urgent Care. Esther is currently in the custody of the university's authority, but will be handed over to the Ministry of Social Welfare for proper handling of the abuse case. The man is in detention and undergoing interrogation with the Cross River State Police Command, while the wife, a nursing mother, was not detained because of a baby. A member of the university management stated that the couple would no longer be allowed to do business within the university premises. And now, that was last week. This week, the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has cautioned Nigerians against employing underage housemates, emphasizing that such practice is illegal. Anyone who receives or has out a child as a domestic worker has committed an offense and is liable to conviction of imprisonment for a minimum workers, which is really a problem. A lot of children have dropped out of school because of this. But one will ask, who are those? Where are the parents of these children? Why are they giving out their children as housemates when they can actually train them in school and looking at our minors?
Yeah. It is very improper to give out children when they are below the age that the law accepts for such individuals to be either housemaid or whatever. Because we see that most families or couples that have so many children in their homes, and because of the economic situation that or circumstances surrounding them, they become incapable of fending or caring for these children. And to guardians or to people to do one or two errands or meager jobs for them in order to meet their own needs. So most couples or families give out their children for economic reasons. and others may also do it in terms of exposing their children to learn certain positive things. Some may have that in their minds. But all the same, since the law prohibits that minors should not be given out because of their tender age, it is very improper, just as we can see at the University of Calabar, where such a child was being molested, manhandled, and maltreated. That's actually an abuse, and the law also will take its weight against those individuals who perpetrate such unacceptable acts. So we see that giving out minors to be housemaid is not acceptable by law, and it is also very improper to give such children out. Parents, they do not care about the consequences that may come out of the situation, just as in this case, where the child was beaten to stupor, almost dying, if not the students who were around. If not, that child would have given up. And you can imagine the level or degree of beating the child may have received from this couple. And because it's not their daughter, they are careless about whatever damages or injuries or harm that may be caused upon this child. So I think it's also a way to create more awareness to parents not to give out their children, because the consequences could be so very dangerous to the existence.
Is actually planning to help those who are already in the system, because of course this is a warning that they have given, and also to remind the public that this is punishable by law. But what about those that are already serving in different homes? How are they planning to get them out?
Yes, the fact is that NAPTIP has come up with this to create the awareness. So it is for them to, make it in a broader dimension, that the public, that's to the public through the social media or through the television or through the radio stations, they should create the awareness. Let the people know what the law says. Let them also know the consequences that are attached to the offenses, that's to the crime of failing to keep to the law. So it is, the NAPTIC has a responsibility to use different medium to circulate this information, so that those who are already victims, I call them victims because they're already in those places, and so that their parents will now have to rethink in terms of withdrawing the children wherever they are back home, and take full charge and responsibility of their care. Because if this awareness is not circulated, spread across every community, every town, cities, those who still remain will be there. But if this information is being disseminated across, and those who ignore it will be prescribed for us in society, for the society to comply with. So we see those who are still in those homes, places, those minors, they are in danger. They are in danger, and we also need persons who are aware, if they can also collaborate with NAPTIP in terms of providing useful information that will help them to question the couples or individuals who are harboring minors as their housemates, and go a long way to, checkmate the, continuity, or checkmate the extent to which this the non-compliance to the law on child trafficking. So the information from individuals, neighbors, and all of that should be sought after by NAPTIP, so that once they get such information, they can go with either the police or with the welfare committee or whatever that are responsible, so that they can remedy these minors before they are killed or they are harmed.
And then I'm wondering what happened to those parents that have given birth to 9 children, more than, or 9, 6, 12, and all of those. And then they are of opinion that the economic situation in the world is just too hard on them.
Yeah.
So as to that, the only way to help their children is to send them out there to serve people in order for them to be able to survive. In a situation that now it is prohibited by law, and of course we know that there are some that are actually taking care of these children very well. But if they are sending them out to serve as domestic workers, and now it's prohibited, what will happen? Because if you send them back to their parents, they might not be able to take care of them. What is the government planning to do, or the NAPSIT?
Yeah, the fact is that in this side of the world, I think we do not have that practicability of welfare packages. What I mean is that packages that are provided to support the welfare of minors, children, unlike is common in Europe, that those who are below 18 years, they have certain amounts of money that are provided for their upkeep. I'm aware of that in Europe. And in our own country, there are no such facilities provided for them. So if parents, it will now be the responsibility of the parents to take back what belongs to them,
okay,
in terms of caring for that child, in terms of protecting that child, in terms of securing that child, and giving that child confidence.
The same way your children are being treated, otherwise you are going to land in prison for 7 years and nobody's going to serve you. So if you have one at home, treat them well. And if you cannot treat them, send them home. That is what they are saying. All right, the next story for today is from Zamfara State. Commercial motorcycle riders in Zamfara State have blocked major road in protesting over following the killing of one of their members over non-payment of a 50 naira daily dues enforced by the union, Motorcycle Riders Association, leading to a fight that resulted in his death. Mohammed stated that the motorcycle rider mobilized and blocked major road, preventing motorists from continuing their journeys. Many motorists were unable to pass through, and some had their wheel screens smashed by the angry riders. Efforts to reach the State Police Command spokesman, ASP Yazid Abdullahi, were unsuccessful as these phone lines were unreachable.
I do not think that there is anywhere in their constitution or bylaw that permits that those who fail to comply in paying this such due should be killed. I would never agree that such was or is in that their constitution. So where it becomes a crime is where, lynched and killed. It is unaccepted. And we need to see that if in a situation where a motorcyclist failed to pay this due, they should look at the disciplinary. They are not sanitized. They are not sensitized. They are not proper. Report that case or incidents to the police or to the association, so that they will do proper checks and investigations in order to, know where the rascality or the brutality is, the extent to which it has been done. And so they have to report. The association have their disciplinary committee also, which will check these excesses and then accompanies this task force. If it's a legal arrangement, that police officer should be reported, because in most cases the boys will go and hire a police officer. Yes, they do it without going through the due process, doing the process of applying from the CP. Yes,
okay.
or from the...
All right, a very fast one before we go on a very short break.
Yes.
Don't you think that most of these riders refuse to pay this money because they feel that extorting them from them too much?
No. There is the money is an agreed.
Okay.
Yes, money that the association is there in their constitution. You are,
you have to pay.
You are eligible. You are to pay certain amount of money, which will be used to run the association and meet other legal needs that could come, because that's where they raise fund for the association to operate. There are so many other things they do there, so it is a very vital in every association. So the motorcyclists knew about that, but the question is that why did he ignore?
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You
they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has sent an executive bill to the Senate seeking for the establishment of a new salary, allowance and official benefits for judicial officers. The president's request was concerned in a letter read by the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. In a letter, President Tinubu said that the executive bill entitled Judicial Office Holders, Salaries and Allowance, etc. Bills 2024 will generate. Noted that the bills would promote the independence capacity of the Nigerian judiciary system, said the Judicial Office Holders, Salaries and Allowance, etc. Bill 2024. Now this one is coming, I would say, in a platter of gold. Is this what it really ought to be, or are they doing this because they want to buy them over? Are they doing it because they want to buy their voices? Or do you think it will improve anything?
In actual sense, having this kind of bill or making this kind of bill is good, but it should not be a one-sided thing of focusing on judiciary. We know the should be done to other ministries, departments in the country. So if only the three arm of the government are the ones eating fat jumbo pays, then all the other agencies and ministries, where is their position? What happens to them? If the National Assembly